Biblia inatambua wanaopenda kukaa nyuma, lakini inasema pia wataletwa mbele. So please don't sit at the back. Karibuni mbele. So a very good morning and welcome to day 2. For some of us, day 3 of the Innovation Week 2024. Delighted to invite you and yet again with the opportunity to host this session whereby we're going to look onto the innovative financing mechanism for energy efficiency. Wote tunafahamu, including last week but one, Mheshimiwa Rais alikuwa Ufaransa na probably baadhi ya watu hapa wakiongelea ya masuala ya clean cooking, lakini all towards energy efficiency. The world is navigating through the 4-5 C's sasa hivi. Ya kwanza tuko kwenye post-COVID pandemic. It's still shaping us, lakini pia kuna conflict duniani ambazo in one way or the other hazijatuacha salama. Unaweza kusema Russia, Ukraine wanapigana huko 1000 miles away from us. Sisi tumekuwa impacted vipi? Ngano tunachukua kule, mbolea tunachukua kule, so we are impacted in a way. Meli zinazoleta mbegu zinazopita hapa katikati hapa nazo zinazunguka South Africa, so cost of production imeongezeka kwa sababu vitu vyote vinavyokuja by ship have to go round. Lakini C is climate change, the third C. Climate change, we can't escape from that. Tanzania tuna experience sasa hivi extreme weather. Sasa kama tumeshaanza kunotice extreme weather. Kuna kibaridi sasa hivi sana, joto likipiga linapiga sana. So that's the fourth C, like the third C. COVID, conflict, climate change, lakini the fourth is cost of living, which again is skyrocketing, ambao pia inachangiwa na hivi vitu. Sasa when we're looking onto the innovative financing mechanism for energy efficiency, hii ni pamoja na kuangalia ni kwa namna gani tunaweza tuka address all the 4 C's at the same time, other than of course impact ya COVID. Lots of jobs were laid off, lakini pia restructuring nyingi ambazo zimekosta watu wengi sana. Climate change tunataka kuhakikisha basi, lakini pia tuna wataalamu ambao will come to discuss about this, kuona ni kwa namna gani energy efficiency imechangia a pause in the ozone layer, lakini jinsi gani sasa we can rectify the situation. Lakini that's also climate change na cost of living tunaweza tukazipunguza namna gani. Without further ado, napenda kipekee kabisa kushukuru na kupongeza na kufurahia uwepo wa Profesa Mnyone. Profesa Mnyone, naomba usimame watu wa kuone umndani. Naomba tumpigie makofi. Profesa Mnyone anatoka Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, ni director pale wa Education, Science and Technology and Innovation. Kwa hiyo tupo naye, delighted to have him with us this morning. Lakini napenda sasa kuwakaribisha na kuwatambulisha the following people. To start with, naomba ni mtambue Mhandisi Robert Washija. Mhandisi, simama tu tukupungie. Naomba tumpigie makofi. Mhandisi Robert Washija is working with the UNDP as the energy efficiency analyst and is coming to give us the welcoming note. Next to him is Mhandisi Malongo Kangola, also from the UNDP. Nitasoma biography yake shortly baada ya welcoming remark ya Mhandisi Washija, because he's the one who's going to moderate the panel. We have a great deal of panelists, ambao Malongo will introduce them later on. Lakini for me is to once again, thank you all for being here. For those who were here by 9, thank you so much for observing time, and let's start the day. Without further ado, Mhandisi Robert, karibu sana sasa for your welcoming remark. Naomba tumpige makofi as he comes.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. My name is Robert Washija and I work for UNDP. Just working in the energy space as an energy efficiency analyst. So I want to welcome you in this session today. Delighted to be here, and I appreciate your time for making this. So UNDP, together with the European Union, under the coordination of the Ministry of Energy, has been champion energy efficiency initiative in this country since 2022. And currently what we are doing, we are implementing the first action planning in energy efficiency, and we are working with various stakeholders. And this is a big project in itself, looking at 7 areas, key important areas to address energy efficiency, cutting across industry, building, households, as well as regulatory environment and the policies. So today we are going more to dive into the linkage between technical service financing as well as what challenges or what problems are the industry facing. So we have a great panel to bring about all these key areas, and thank you very much. I welcome you all. Thank you.
Asante sana mhandisi. Those of us ambao kidogo umri umesogea, zamani ulikuwa ukiona wahandisi lazima uone ndevu na mvi na madude mengi sana, but it's delighted now wahandisi as juniors, not junior by, but junior by age, as mhandisi Robert nashukuru sana. Now allow me to introduce the moderator of this fantastic panel that is going to discuss innovative financing. This is Innovation Week, so anything for those of us who are here when you're looking onto dating the future. Yesterday, the keynote that was given by Ambassador Ulanga, we were supposed to already look ahead many years to come. So innovative financing mechanism for energy efficiency, and we need this, and that's where the world is already has launched us there already. So to moderate this session, this is none other but Dr. PhD. Sio kapata kikozi hapo akasema Dr. naomba unitibu. But a PhD holder, Dr. Malongo Kongola. Dr. Karibu hapa mbele as I introduce you. Dr. Malongo Kongola. Let him. Asante. Thank you so much, technical team. Dr. Malongo Kongola is an agricultural engineer. He has over 25 years of experience in agriculture engineering, environment, as well as mining. He is currently working with UNDP as the National Energy Efficiency Analyst and is based in Dodoma. Dr. Malongo is married, happily married with 3 children. Naomba tumpigie makofi, and I would hand over the session to him now to bring to the stage his panelists, and we take it from there. Karibu Daktari.
Thank you so much, Austin. Yeah. Morning all. So thank you very much for this opportunity. Once again, my name is Malongo Kongola, and I'm stationed in Dodoma, working for UNDP, as well introduced by Austin. And before I welcome my wonderful panelists, I wanted to take this opportunity to add on to what my colleague, Engineer Robert, has already said with regards to energy efficiency. So very quickly, I wanted to introduce to you the key concepts of energy efficiency, which we are going to be discussing here. That energy efficiency is a technology that enables us to perform the same function but with less energy. It focuses mainly on the equipment and technology, and a good example of efficiency technology is the use of light emitting diodes, which are very efficient, very low wattage, and save costs. And also the fact that energy efficiency mainly saves money once well implemented, once well the technology is adopted, and hence the saving of money contributes to the country's economy overall. And with a good economy, definitely the country now will be able to save its people by giving them access and affordable energy, by giving them sustainable energy, because then it will be sufficient, and modern energy. And hence, if we want that to be well implemented, as well said by Austin, then we need finances to support its implementation, from human resources to the technology, machinery, and equipment. Finances are important as capital to make it happen. With these remarks now, I wanted to take this opportunity to welcome my speakers, my panelists, who will be expounding on these concepts of energy efficiency and particularly financing mechanisms. And I wanted to start with ladies first, as usual. Austin, Elizabeth Ngoye, please come forward and grab this seat. Eliza works for the UN Capital Development Fund. Her title is M&E Analyst, and she's looking after the project known as Cook Fund Program, which is a very big program in this country. Eliza has over 20 years of experience in M&E research, knowledge management, business development, and she has a degree in a Bachelor of Science in Agronomy and a Master of Science in Environment and an MBA as well. She has traveled experience, and so she has lots of international experience. Yeah. My next panelist is John Raymond Mfanga. John, please come forward. John is a mechanical engineer, energy. He works as a research officer for the Tanzania Industrial Research and Development Organization, TIDO. He has lots of experience My next panelist is Yash. Yash Patel. Yash is an engineer and has extensive expertise in He works for South Africa. South Africa is a business, private business in Tanzania, very famous for plastics products production. Most of us products in South Africa. Yash has played a pivotal role in energy savings initiatives in this country. And his expertise in companies, advanced energy efficiency technology, expertise is banking, and he is also an environmentalist with more than 10 years of work experience in the banking industry, including ESG and sustainability and climate finance. Karibu sana, Hailo. I have 5. Yeah, I think I have the last 2 now. I'm calling the last 2. Sorry. Yeah. The next speaker, the next panelist will be John Raymond Mfanga. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. The way I've written my notebook is such that I'm mixing up names. Kenneth Lusesa. Kenneth, kama uko jirani na kuomba ukamate kiti cha mwisho kile. Kenneth is a banker from the Tanzania Investment Bank. Professionally, is a banker with 13 years of experience in banking industry. He's a senior officer, agency fund solicitation and administration at TRDB. He's also responsible for funds mobilization. He works under the Funds Mobilization Directorate. Kenneth is specialized in project management, renewable energy, and resource mobilization. And so you will notice that Kenneth is a perfect person for this discussion. And Kenneth has an MSc in finance and investment from Coventry University, and obviously he has extensive international experience, which actually makes him a suitable candidate for today's discussion. Karibu sana, Kenneth. My last panelist now will be Robert Washija. Robert has already come forward and stood before you. Actually, Robert was introduced by Austin as is a mechanical engineer, works for the energy efficiency project under UNDP, which partners with the Minister of Energy, and he's stationed in Dodoma. He is a sustainable energy and environmental expert with over 13 years of experience in energy auditing, energy efficiency, and renewable energy. He's also a member of the Association of Energy Engineers, and he's certified as an energy manager, one of the few certified energy managers in Tanzania. Karibu sana, Robert. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah. Nafikiri nitamoderate from here. Yeah, asante sana, nashukuru sana. Kwa hiyo, as was well said by Austin, let us be free to, as we continue with this session, to either use English and Swahili. But now, I wanted to start with Yash Patel. You, Yash. I understand that your organization, Seal Africa, is doing a lot. One of the role models in one of the very few private companies in Tanzania which have started implementing energy efficiency at a large scale in your factories. Yash, I was just wondering, what financing opportunities or challenges is the private sector exposed to in your endeavors to improve energy efficiency in your businesses?
Limited awareness and expertise. There is often of lack of awareness and expertise in the financial sector regarding the benefits and feasibilities of energy efficient projects The result in the limited support and reluctated to fund such initiatives.
Okay, thank you. So, if you were to, Yash, if you were to expound more on what you have just said, do you see any opportunities?
Yes.
Of energy efficiency, of scaling up energy efficiency, especially at a large scale in the private sector? Do you want to say more about that?
Yeah. If financial side, more than me, our CEO will aware, because he is taking care about financial projects and retrofitment projects.
Okay, so you see opportunities for that? Yes. Yeah, and I know you spoke about challenges. Sorry for picking on you for some time. What are the main challenges as the private sector tries to implement energy efficient technology? What are the key challenges? What did you say?
Like
Yeah.
we have some challenges like in power, in electrical side. We have the challenges before we are our one per hour before 1 kilowatt per kg to 0.825 kilowatt per kg. By there is the challenge of the changeover switches and the challenges of the electrical retrofitments.
Yeah.
And old machines we are doing the retrofitments, and we are changing the molds cavities more, so we get more production and more benefits.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.
I might come back to you on that later, but let me make a quick round to all the panelists, and then if we need more, then we'll come to you later. Thank you so much, Yash, for that. Mr. Mfanga from Tildo, I also was wondering, because I understand that Tildo is a national research organization which actually is meant to support the country in the driving of technology, new technology, including energy efficiency in the country. So I just wanted you to talk about your assessment as how you feel whether the country has sufficient expertise, or Tildo rather, has sufficient expertise, the infrastructure, machinery or equipment to serve energy efficiency auditing and management services in the country. What's your assessment coming from a renowned research institution in Tanzania? Over to you.
Okay. Yes, my name is John Raymond Mfanga. I work for Tanzania Industrial Research and Development Organization, which has a mandate to undertake the industrial research, providing technical services and technological services, also to disseminate the research findings that have the impact on the socio-economic activities in the country. So there's a mic there. Before I respond to the question, maybe I can say something about the challenges which we are facing the energy auditing services in the countries. First of all, we were not recognized as an institution. In recent years, we were not recognized as an institution which can perform the energy auditing in the industries. This is because of we were lacking of the certified personnel to conduct the audits. Also, we have few equipments for conducting the energy auditings. Also, we didn't have the energy efficiency lab, which is conducive for conducting the audits. But thanks to the implementation of this energy efficiency projects, which is funded by the UNDP and the European Union in coordination with the Ministry of Energies. Through this ongoing projects, some of the institutions like TILDO itself, DIT and TANESCO received the benefits. These benefits, we received the training on certified personnel on as energy auditors and the energy managers. Also, we received the full furnished laboratories. Also received the equipments. Further, we have received the practical orientations in the industries to ground the industrial practices with the emphasis on equipment use and report writing. To responding to the questions, it's obvious that we need to increase the number of certified personnel so that we meet the requirements, because we have to save to do the energy auditings in the whole countries. So we need enough equipment and the certified personnel. Also, we have to upgrade our laboratories so that we meet the requirements. And finally, I have to say that we have started this journey. We are somewhere and we are progressing well to fill this gap so that we fulfill our goals. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John. Thank you so much. So overall, what you are saying is the country does not have sufficient expertise, nor the requisite equipment to satisfy the needs for energy auditing and management as a service to the energy efficient sector in the country. I think that's what you're saying. Yeah, thank you so much. Mr. Kibiki from the CRDB. As you know, money is what actually facilitates the implementation of energy efficiency in the country. And so money is needed for equipment, for the training of personnel, for the dissemination of technology, for, in general, making the technology adoptable and hence implemented by the Tanzanian mass. Mr. Kibiki, from your bank, the CRDB, would you share with us whether there are any financing schemes that are directly targeted at improving energy efficiency and clean cooking in the country? Do you have such schemes from your bank?
Thank you, Mr. Facilitator. Indeed, we have. And again, my name is Hailo Humphrey Kibiki, and now I'm acting as a manager and working with sustainability at CRDB Bank. So CRDB Bank, we have a dedicated department with sustainability, and we work various with the some partners here. So let me get direct to the topic. As CRDB Bank, we as a commercial bank and one of the leading in the country and in the region. So we operate in Tanzania, Burundi, and the Congo now. So we had a dedicated sustainability initiative embedded in our financial services and operations, of which energy efficiency is one of the key, and I'll come to mention which program we have on the same. So, being direct to the point, CRDB Bank is one of the sole accredited by the GCF, the Green Climate Fund. So we are accredited by as a national direct entity, DIRE, in 2019, and we came with various proposals to make sure we go to the market to work with to make sure we executed the law of being accredited by the UNFCCC Green Climate Finance Mechanism. So what we have on hand now, Mr. Facilitator and everyone, is we have the Adaptation Agriculture Program, in which the energy efficiency is one of the key. How? So we are facilitating the sustainability and the climate adaptation way of farming from the primary producer, and integration. I know here is an innovation. You think of precision in input. We are financing the precision in inputs, in irrigation, like as a banker, I can say drip irrigation. So it's something like example. You can think of efficiency in greenhouse shades and more. So for the GCF, we have this energy efficiency in agriculture, but we finance from the primary production and the post-harvest. So let's say, for example, in a cold room, warehouse, something like that. So we are welcoming the innovators here and the general public if there is an idea which has paradigm shifted from the normal way of operating in both from the primary production in agriculture, but also in storage. We will be very happy to make sure we finance because we have that money. Again, we have that money. So at CRDB Bank to do that. So along other those, so this program I'm mentioning now, it is subsidized, that it has another incentive, like having lower on cost, but also it has guarantee, and we have grant on crop insurance. So those who are expert in insurance, the so-called parametric, something like that, crop insurance. So we have that. Actually, we are piloting, but having this audience here, I know that because people are working in an innovative way, maybe you can be one of the very few first customer demonstrate on that. That is number one. So, but last year, CRDB Bank had issued a wonderful green bond, and we labeled it as Kijani bond. Kijani bond in Kiswahili, that's green bond. It was very successful, subscribed, over 400% oversubscribed. So that is number one. Now, how we use those proceeds to make sure we finance the green initiative, as CRDB being one of the leader, one of the championing committed for our management. So from the vision of our MD, the board, and everyone, to make sure now we champion being the leader. So in our green bond issued, we ensure the sustainability practice in various sectors. What we call is asset class in use of proceeds. So I think this is the language used by the ESG guys, the asset class. And just to mention a few for the sake of time, and then to see how the opportunity you guys can work together to make sure we put this agenda in front in the innovation. Is one of the key, which I'm very happy, is energy efficiency in prevention control and industrial. So my colleague here, he was telling on the industries that they need something. So maybe not selling actually, but we have this, we can sit down and everyone to see on how we can see on efficiency in industrial process end to end from the primary, the medium, and the preparation. And also we have a wonderful incentive through the green bond use in the so-called green building. Green building. So this is, and before I go front, is that it's officially now CRDB Bank HQ at Upanga. It is certified as green. So we are one of the example, but also we are very much open now. We have that money, which is incentivized to make sure everyone can access to green building. Maybe Mr. Forrester, I can say what does it expect in green building in very short, without wasting time. We are looking on the design, innovative design, on energy efficiency, water efficiency, and the embodied material efficiency. Design. Being the initial design and whatever in the retrofitting to make sure it qualify as per various certification, including BREEAM, LEED, and EAGE from the IFC. So we are very much working with EAGE, IFC, and we are very much open because we have incentive up to 4% of the total project cost, despite of the cost of it. So we are very much open to work with everyone, with the real estate developer, home buildings, resorts, anything. We can see how we can use that money to make sure we deploy this. So as a financial intermediary and a commercial bank, yes, we are financing, but we stand in position that we have to dedicate on energy efficiency with whatever the innovation. I'm not an expert, innovation available. We sit down, we see the criteria, and we are working with very good partners here in Europe and in the US to make sure we put in this plot. So I have one examples because of time, maybe I summarize that way. So also we, as I said in agriculture, but we support clean transport in any way.
Clean transport?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we support clean transport. This has no many, so if we have clean transport, please come, let's sit down and see how we finance it, we support it. We have that money now, I'm talking. So please welcome. Like in here, we look on water efficiency, of which now you can see it comes to the green buildings, but also whatever the water efficiency, if being rainwater harvesting, whatever it supports in various sector, like we call it AFOL, on agriculture, forestry, and the land use related stuff, whatever it is there, in pollution prevention, so we support it to make sure we are contributing to that. So let me put this short, Mr. Facilitator, to allow others to speak, but I think we are open to receive more innovative, whatever in efficiency on what I've said, including this use of green. We have many explanation, maybe criteria on various sector I mentioned, but because I was trying to tag myself in energy efficiency, so this is what we have, and we welcome innovation. Maybe one thing last, please. On agriculture, incentivized adaptation, we call it innovative financial instrument to the adaptation agriculture. So you can see how it has to be not business as usual to support. So we stand to support energy efficiency, and thank you for this time. I submit.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Kibiki, for those insights. Actually, I'm very happy to learn from you that you have schemes to finance energy efficiency in the country, and you have various schemes to address particular areas. So that's fantastic. And you have funding from GCF as well? Is that what you said?
Yes, the one I mentioned previous, it was GCF financing. Yeah. And what GCF, it is dedicated on innovative crop primary production, okay, and the post-harvest from the GCF. So we have that money already. Please welcome.
Okay.
Thank you.
We'll get back to you. We want the money, and I am sure the...
I always end with that because it is not a story. It is something it's doable, and we welcome you. Thank you.
Asante sana.
Asante sana.
Kenneth, from the Tanzania Investment Bank.
Yes.
And actually the name investment qualifies you to really sit here for this discussion. Please tell us the schemes that the investment bank has and relate that to energy efficiency and clean cooking. Do you have any, like the CRDB bank has?
Yeah, thank you, moderator. As you mentioned, my name is Kenneth from TAB Development Bank. So TAB Development Bank is a government-owned bank supporting government initiatives in innovating ideas, supporting youth and women who are coming up with the innovations ideas. So from TAB side, Basically, we have different financial schemes which we are providing from the energy sector on the renewable energy and the energy efficiency and clean cooking. We don't have a specific product which is offered through the bank, but we have programs which we are managing on behalf of the development partners, which are also supporting on the energy efficiency. So we are working with the REA and we are working with UNIDO on the clean cooking programs, which we are providing financing support in terms of the incentive. Not alone, it's a grant incentive going to the people who are producing ethanol as alternative fuel for cooking, and who are producing improved cooking stove for supporting the innovative ideas on a issue of the energy efficiency. But from the REA side, we are having a program which we are managing on their behalf. It's called Tanzania Rural Energy Expansion Programs, which we are also focusing on the energy efficient side, especially for the productive use on the solar side, as a panelist from CRDB explained. So we are supporting on the agriculture side, on the productive use in terms of irrigation, putting some solar for irrigation to minimize the cost of diesel generators who are buying diesel for supporting pumping. So we have all those kind of the financing schemes which we are providing through the development partners and government as well through REA.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And tell us a little bit more about your arrangement with REA. What exactly are you guys doing?
Yeah, from the program perspective, that we have a program in place which is supporting other financial institutions.
Okay.
Because the program which has been designed is to support other financial institutions who are lending directly to the players on the renewable energy and the energy efficiency sector.
Okay.
So the players are coming to access the financing through the financial institutions who are taken on board through the program, going through the vetting process from the central bank, and having no objection to be part of the program. And then the key players are accessing financing through those financial institutions. So the program is refinancing back to the financial institution a portion which have been provided to the players.
Sawa. Asante sana, Kenneth. We'll get back to you on that. Robert, I know the Energy Efficiency Project, which works with the Ministry of Energy in the country, and hence the Ministry of Energy being the owner of the entire Energy Efficiency Initiative. You have been driving some activities to enhance and build the capacity of the country in the area of energy efficiency, from skills development, technology, etc. What exactly programs do you have to build the energy efficiency capacity of the country?
Okay, thank you, moderator. Once again, my name is Robert and I work for UNDP. So in the context of the project, and first of all, I appreciate the way how you started with technical service area, where we have Tido on the panel, and we also have the money guys. But also we have the demand side in terms of the private sector, the industry, or the players who need both the input from the technical service as well from the financing stream. So we are keen to address and have the merge between the three groups in the context of the project. And what we are doing, we are looking in terms of extensive financial investment, whereby we are building environment for that. So we are focusing on capacity building. And as my colleague from TIDO mentioned earlier, so we now have the first 10 certified energy managers and the auditors in the countries as we speak.
How many certified?
10 and
10
certified energy auditors and 10 certified energy managers. So why is this? Mr. Kibiki, my colleague Kenneth, we never receive any response or any request from my colleague there, Yash, from South Africa, who are the private sectors, in case they want to do a retrofit project once they don't have the certified report from energy auditing. So we are keen to leverage in terms of international best practice in that area, and that's where we build those capacities. So not only that, but also the laboratories in terms of energy efficiency and equipment for them to do the testing, and also some of the practical hands-on experience for building more professionals. So another areas we are building standards, frameworks, and the regulations in the context of energy management in the country. So we want to have regulations, we want to have energy efficiency building code in the country. We want to have the EPC framework in terms of energy performance certificates. Also, we need after frameworks for energy performance contracting. These are all key areas in terms of building the environment for energy management practice in the country. So we also building in terms of having programs to focus on awareness raising. As you know, energy efficiency is a new topic in the country. So not many are aware about energy efficiency, and I'm happy that you started by introducing us to the basic concept of energy efficiency, because most of us, we don't do energy efficient practice, starting from our households, nevertheless from our industry or our business or our office. So awareness is key to this. So we are building on that, and we are working with different players from regulatory point of view, from those who are players in terms of the demand side, from also in the supply side, we are working with utilities to address that. So that's what UNDP, working with EU and the Minister of Energy, we are trying to bring in the context of energy efficiency practice in the country. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Robert. I wanted to suggest that I go the other round with you, and then we open up to the floor, Austin, so that the floor can also direct interact with the panelists. So, about 25 minutes. So, my panelists, we only have 25 minutes, and I just wanted to very quickly go around the panel to discuss some concepts so that the floor can be able to ask questions and share their comments as well. So please be brief to your responses so that we save time for the floor to also have time to speak. And so, Yash, I wanted to come back to you. I know I have discussed this with Mr. Mpanga, John, about your assessment as a private sector, as to how you see how the private sector can access satisfactory technical services in energy auditing, management, and EPC, energy performance contracting. What's your overall assessment? Is it satisfactory, or what do you say as a practitioner from the private sector?
Yes, is it absolutely satisfactory? Most of probably we are taking help of like TDO, EPO, and financial side we have the challenges. Challenges like now we are making new implementations and projects. We are going soon, but now we are going for solar panels projects, and as per our energy implementations, we are scrapping old machines and bringing new machines. Those are more efficient and more energy to saving the energy consumption.
Excellent. But Yash, with only 10 certified energy managers and energy auditors, is that not a challenge to the private sector?
Yes, is not the challenge for private sectors.
Okay, okay, excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm back to you, John, Mr. Mfanga from Tildo. I wanted you to comment very quickly on whether Tildo, as an industrial research institution, for the country has any plans, future plans, for energy services companies, which we normally call ESCOs in the energy efficiency sector, so that they exist in the country and they provide services. Are there any such plans? Or what is the process for such, if they don't exist, to happen?
Yes, thank you. Labda respond kwenye hilo swali. Hizi escrows ni kampuni ambazo zina finance hizi energy efficiency measures kwa ajili ya kusaidia viwanda au watumiaji kupunguza zile losses au kusevu umeme na kupunguza gharama za umeme. Kwa sisi hapa, kwa mfano TIDO, bado tunahitaji kujenga uwezo ili tuwe na si ni moja wao escrows ambao tutakuwa tuna implement hizo then tuna after a certain period kile kiwanda au yule users ataanza kusave. Kwa hiyo zile saving tutakuwa tunachukua kwa ajili ya kulipa zile hela ambazo tuliingiza mwanzo. Kwa hiyo ndio utaratibu ulivyo, lakini kwa sasa bado tunajenga uwezo, tunahitaji wataalamu, tunahitaji vifaa pia na maabara ambazo zinaweza kufanya hiyo kazi. Lakini naamini tunaweza tukajifunza na tukaweza kufanya hiyo kazi.
Asante. Eliza, for some reason nilikuruka, lakini nilitaka sana uzungumze. I know the UN CDF development fund. You have funding opportunities that you are aware of from the development partners, which are promoting energy efficiency and clean cooking in the country. Would you share with us those opportunities that exist so that the floor can be knowledgeable of, and those who want to know more can follow? Jaribu kuwasha kwenye nani hapo. So in other words, Eliza, swali langu ni kwamba what funding opportunities are there from development partners to promote energy efficiency and clean cooking in the country? Over to you, Eliza.
Thank you very much for inviting me for this opportunity. Yeah. So, you know, before we started this session, I was there sitting with Michael, and we were talking about opportunities and decision-making in clean cooking and innovations. And we said that sometimes men are the ones hindering women. So I just want to mention, you called me as the woman, and then if you forgot that you have a woman, that's a joke.
My apology for that.
Thank you very much. So, just next time, don't forget a woman, the only woman in the fund. That's a joke. Don't worry. So, so thank you very much. So as Area introduced, my name is Elizabeth Ngoye, working with the UN Capital Development Fund. So in terms of funding in energy efficiency and clean cooking from the development partners, at the UNCDF, for example, we have a European Union funded program called the Cook Fund. So the Cook Fund is part of a bigger program under the European Union, targeting at accelerating market of clean cooking solutions in Tanzania. And it's being implemented in 5 regions of Tanzania mainland. Dar es Salaam, Pwani, Morogoro, Dodoma, and Mwanza. But we have a component of awareness raising that covers the whole country because of the importance of awareness and behavioral change. And also we have also part of area of strengthening the policy and legal framework around clean cooking. Those are new additional components. So the total budget under the program is 19.4 million euro. And about, I think, 70% of it goes to accelerating market of clean cooking solutions. So that's provided as grant to private sector. So our main beneficiaries are profit-making private companies and enterprises in those regions. And we are funding technologies like natural gas, liquefied petroleum gas, improved charcoal stoves, efficient electric cooking, briquettes, and the likes. And the program is, period is 2021 to 2026. And we work very close with the UNIDO, UN Industrial Development Organization, as earlier mentioned by TAB. They are managing the fund under TAB. But because of the mandate of UNCDF as a UN agency, we do fund management for programs and program activities in Dar es Salaam, Pwani, Morogoro, Dodoma, and Mwanza. As I said, the grant is performance-based. So we work with private sector, and it's a purely grant to address issues of capital of the enterprises, but also ensure affordability. So the capital, the part of it is used to address capital aspects in terms of also increasing accessibility and outreach of the enterprises, but then we do provide subsidy to the amount of between 32% to 50% of the market price of the products of the products that the entrepreneurs are promoting. And so, because the main goal of the program is to address climate issues, which means we want to ensure that we increase the number of households and institutions using clean energy for cooking. So we do performance-based. So the grant is attached to an agreed number of new connections that will be reached, say, for a period of the grant between UNCDF and the entrepreneur. And the funding ranges between euro 10,000 to 300,000. Which is equivalent to about 30 million Tanzanian shillings to about 100 million Tanzanian shillings. And the amount depends on the enterprise themselves, the level of and their capacity to reach more people, because it's a subsidy attached to the number of people that an enterprise will be reaching. Yeah. So it depends also on the historical background of this enterprise currently. So how many people are they currently reaching, and then we project in the next, say, 3 years how many people they'll be reaching, and then we attach that funding there. And we have criteria for funding. Most important, it has to be a product that has been tested and is being marketed. We are not funding startups, because, you know, at the end, as I said, we need to make sure that we reach new people. And we are really working with the Minister of Energy, as I mentioned, and so we support the implementation of the recently launched National Clean Cooking Strategy, which was launched, I think, by the President last week. Yeah. And so it's very important that we evidence the number of new people that are connected. And so we've supported a chunk of enterprises, and our current challenge is, and that's where now this fits in this innovation, is coming up with innovative ideas of reaching more people in terms of, in some cases, the clean cooking technologies are still expensive. They have environmental health benefits, but some of them are still expensive. So we want innovative ways of increasing affordability. If we can have innovative ideas of micro payments attached to reaching new people, we really welcome those ideas, because we have a fund for innovations and also innovative ideas for increasing accessibility, also measurement, reporting and verifications. As I said, we have to do, at the end of the day, we have to verify the number of new connections or new cells that have been reached because of the fund. Yes, so I think in short, that's it. And we are looking forward to, because I think clean cooking is a wide area, it's new and wide. We're talking about the technology itself in terms of reducing emissions, but the opportunities to work with, for example, Institute of Building and RD Institute, working with COSTECH, for example, Minister of Education, the innovation area, to ensure that we also improve our buildings. It won't help if you're using electric cooking, but your kitchen room is not very well designed to support electric cooking. So because we also need to support other aspects of development, sustainable development goals, and ensure there is also safety in terms of the support. So it's very key to work with other institutions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Eliza, just very quickly, do refugees have access to such programs, in clean cooking programs?
So we
very quickly, yeah.
Yes, they do. But with the Cook Fund program, we are focused in those 5 regions. But we do not. We are reaching everyone. We are reaching households. We are reaching institutions. And just to add, there also other, in addition to the Cook Fund, there are other, for example, the Embassy of Sweden is supporting AECF. They have the Tanzania Clean Cooking Program. I think that one is countrywide, but also I understand World Bank also has similar programs. So there are several opportunities out there to support private sector to reach more people with the clean cooking solutions.
Asante sana. I asked that specifically because I know refugees are also in high need of clean cooking, and actually that's also is, such initiatives are environmental friendly. I think that's why I asked this question to you.
Yeah, just a small addition, and I think the UN program, the Kigoma Joint Program, also supports clean cooking in Kigoma, so the opportunity is also to reach refugees around those areas.
Thank you so much. Mr. Kibiki, nilikuwa naomba, could you comment on microfinancing schemes that you have to promote economic growth, reducing poverty and empowering women through financing energy efficiency businesses kwa wale wafanyabiashara machinga na kadhalika? Are there such programs to support poverty eradication through the energy efficiency sector?
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Yes, we did. We have it. I'll start with the women-based. CRDB has, we call the WAFI, a Women Financing Initiative, ambayo ina dedicate kwa women to save, but also to use an cash-based collateral to access fund, just to increase financial inclusion and for the women. But also of the mentioned program like the GCF1, it has target to reach more than 50% from the baseline women who access, especially in agriculture. So we have a target to increase that. So when we are onboarding, so we also look at that in the KPI. So that is specific on that. Indeed, same to the green financing from the green bond I mentioned on various areas, despite of energy efficiency, but also the use of micro solar on the women who are the street vendors. So we also support that way, but also in any way, so we try to do that. So our programs, despite of being clean or green, but they also have target of the financing inclusion to those who are not in mainstream. But CRDB Bank, we have the CRDB Bank Foundation. So we are very famous in Beju program. I think that's a very famous, right? And I think that we've been working with the various partners here. So the one, it has seed capital to make sure we touch those who are not in mainstream on the bank. And then when they are the so-called startup seeds, Imbeju is a Bantu, Mbegu, Mbegu, I don't know if it's where. That so is try to hear Mark on how we take. So we are working as a commercial bank in the mainstream with the very incentivized, but also we have the startup one. Okay. So, but all the idea of energy efficiency and inclusion, even in other sustainability, we are there in together.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kibiki. So, in other words, what you're saying, kama kuna a woman or a young man who wants to access funding so that they can sell energy efficient lights, they can access funds from the CRDB.
Indeed, and we welcome very much, as you said.
Asante
And
sana.
welcome. Asante sana.
Kenneth, could you also comment on the microfinancing programs targeting the youth, empowering women, particularly in the energy efficiency area, if there is any from the Tanzania Investment Bank?
Yeah, basically, as I mentioned earlier, that we have that support, but through the programs which we are managing.
Yeah.
So from the programs, they can go to access the financing through the commercial banks. So even the CRDB is part of our programs under TREP. So they are all welcome to go to access the financing through the TIB, through CRDB, and then the program can refinance back to CRDB. And what we are championing is that we are providing a very subsidized interest rate to these commercial banks, so that we are limiting the interest rate which we are offering to the beneficiaries, the key players on the ground, to be very minimal and to be very friendly, so that these projects can be viable. Because from the financing mechanism, that if we don't set a certain rate to offer to this market, this kind of the initiative won't be viable. Yes, because it's a new product which is coming up. It's not sustainable to that much, so it's needed to build slowly until it is stable. There you can put a financing mechanism which is very suitable based on the environment. So we have that within the programs which we are managing.
So, asante sana, Kenneth. That's valuable. Actually, I want us to have Robert as the final speaker now. Robert, very quickly, tell us what the energy efficiency project under the Ministry of Energy is doing to raise the awareness of the public, as you correctly said during your presentation, in the energy efficiency area. What are you doing? Very quickly.
Thank you. Maybe I try by expounding on what my colleague said earlier on the context of ESCO. So what ESCO started with is energy service company, and these are the companies which are technical in terms of they have experience, and they have practical experience, and they are professionals in energy management services.
Yeah.
And
Robert, I'll only give you 2 minutes.
Okay, thank you, sir. So, and the idea is to now bridge about financing also technical services. So ESCO comes and offer to both of technical competence as well as financing. And these are the ideal company which most of the commercial banks would understand and work together with them. So how are we building on that? So as I mentioned earlier, capacity building and awareness is a key aspect in terms of initiating the sustainability practice in the countries as far as energy efficiency is concerned. So we started with 10 professionals, but now we are focusing on 130 more professionals in the country. I know many, they say 10, but that compared to Tanzania, how big the country is so minimum. So now we are going to add more 130 professionals. And these are the professionals who are going to work in these ESCOs now. And now to bring about technical competence as well as bridging about the financing. So the project is keen to work on that one.
Robert, I'm afraid I may have to stop you there.
Thank you, sir.
I know you guys are doing great to raise the awareness of the public in the energy efficiency sector. Austin, I think 13 minutes. 13 minutes.
From the audience, and then he will, because he's doing the closing remarks. So whatever he wants to say, he will wrap it up then.
You will wrap it up through that, yeah. Thank you so much.
So we have the ushers. Just raise your hand here. One usher outside and one on this side. There's a hand here. Good luck.
Tunayo maswali mengi kumbe. Sawa, tuanze na a lady, yeah?
Let's give them short and snappy.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good morning. So my question goes to Kibiki from CRDB. My name is Beatrice Sawe from MIDA. Okay, how easily the GCF funding is accessible, or how tough is? You have spoke about the inclusivity, and we know that most of the women and young men, they not easily having collaterals. And then you said you are including the inclusivity within the GCF funding. So I would like to know how easily it is for those women and young men to access. Thank you.
Asante. Austin. We'll take questions first, okay. The next question.
Hello, good morning. My name is Paul Bomani from Ideathon. I have two questions. I'll try to keep them very quick. I am new to the energy space, so I'm not very entrenched in the energy space. So the first question is there an energy efficiency policy in the country? When we talk about energy efficiency, what sectors or what areas are the most losses experienced? Is it in production and power generation, which would be, and transmission, which would be looking at TANESCO? Is it a domestic consumption where clean cooking would be a major factor? Or is it in industry and agriculture and the productive industries? So that's question number one.
Yes.
And then question number two is, just the other day I took a Bolt and the driver was telling me about how he's installed a CNG conversion kit, so compressed natural gas. And he was telling me how by spending 18,000 shillings in natural gas, he can get a range of up to 200 kilometers, which I felt could be a significant game changer when it comes to mobility. So can you comment on that? Is that a possible disruptor when it comes to mobility? And what is the capacity of the country to actually produce enough natural gas to power vehicles in the country? Thanks.
Those are very good questions. Thank you. Yes, kule mwisho.
Asante. Majina naitwa Joseph Cleveland. Mimi naomba nijielekeze katika kuelekea kwenye nishati safi ya kupikia. Kwenye nchi yetu kumekuwa kuna utamaduni ambao umejengeka kwa miaka mingi kwamba wengine wanaamini kwamba chakula kinachopikiwa na kuni kina taste, lakini wengine wanaamini kwamba kuelekea kwenye nishati safi ya kupikia kama gesi ni gharama, na hasa maeneo ya vijijini. Utamaduni ambao umejengeka kwa miaka mingi sana. Sasa ni aina gani ya mikakati ambayo tunakuja nayo ili kuweza kuhakikisha kwamba watu wanaamini kwamba dhana kama hizo si za kweli? Asante.
Asante, hilo swali zuri sana. Cultural question. Yes, the next one. Naomba mwe pia mnazunguka sehemu zote. Yeah?
Good morning, everyone. So, good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you. So, my name is Ihunyo Boniface, and thank you for the opportunity. For me, I'm not going to ask, but rather I'm going to make a comment based on the discussions that have gone around, and thank you so much to all the panelists with very good information that you have shared. And a lot of the questions that have been asked so far, they tend to seek more information to know each player, what are they doing, how are they doing. So it's so much of information need. So my call is, I think a lot of the discussion could have a lot more value if we had a mechanism of tracking innovation financing. And this would provide, like, it could be in a form of, say, a yearly study that captures how innovation in the country is being financed, what opportunities are there, which players are there, and therefore that would provide a very good platform for understanding the status and to be able to track the progress over time as related to how innovation is being financed in the country. And this could not be limited to only energy. That would be opened up to even other areas to help many players to know which opportunities and how to tap them and to be informed, because we are living in a data-driven world. Yeah. And now you see there's a lot of gaps in terms of knowing, knowledge, and data. And so I don't know who would take this up, but I think it would be a good thing to have. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's a very good comment. Thank you. Yeah. Michael Smith, 3 more, yes. This side. Yeah, alafu baadaye Mike itakuja mbele. I saw there were 2 ladies there. Yeah.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for the inclusivity issue. You said there is a lady there raising a hand. Yeah. My question goes to the panelists at large. I don't know how adequate time is there to
introduce yourself first.
Okay. My name is Hildegarda Mushi. I'm coming from COSTECH. My question goes to the panelists. I don't know how much time they can reflect on this, but at least to think about it. What opportunities they see in terms of their own activities, and also thinking and analyzing what the other one is doing. So what opportunities are there for leveraging on the resources of the other partners across the table and those who are not seated there? Opportunities for working together so that you minimize duplication of efforts to enhance your work, and also to enhance coverage of your activities and minimize cost as well. This is my question. That's it. Thank you.
Asante sana. Naona kulikuwa na mkono hapa mbele. Yes, Michael.
Yeah, asante. Jina langu naitwa Michael Onesmo. I'm a consultant from Karakana. It's purely a consulting company. First of all, thank you so much for your sharing the experiences. It reminds me when I went to Dodoma, wanted to do energy efficiency in public infrastructure. The guy from the government told me, watu wanaishi kwa inefficiencies. Wewe unataka kubadilisha hiyo? Bwana mdogo, una siku nyingi za kuishi. So people benefit from inefficiencies, especially energy or resource inefficiency. Anyway, maybe he was joking, but the reality is, in a country where the frameworks are not very clear, many of us are trying to look for other ways of doing it. In my company, I gather small young graduates. We go to a hospital. We say, would you like to know, would you like to make more profit? If the owner of the hospital says yes, then we do the energy audit. Then he says, how do I get the money to finance this, the paradigm shift, retrofitting? We go to Mikopo Umiza. We go to an informal guy who gives us the money. We implement the changes. And the guy gives us the money, we share 50% with the guy who gave us the money. So why? Because the banks, even when they're smiling here, that is not their money. So whatever they're saying, in Tanzania, it is very difficult to have retrofitting financing. It's not very usual. In fact, if you go with the energy audit report and say, you know what, I would like to go retrofit organization, if they make money, I get money back. are you kidding? Is this money?
So
anyway, I would say that, okay, we need to go an extra kilometers looking how we could make paradigm shift possible. Otherwise, people will remain with inefficient space.
Thank you, Michael. And I think I will now connect your comment and request Mr. Kibiki to respond to the first question in connection to what Michael has just said. You remember the first question asked by the,
Yes.
Yeah.
Ms. Beatrice?
Yes, very quickly, please, because of time.
Thank you very much. Sorry, thank you.
Yeah.
Beatrice, allow me to start last for good from Mr. Michael. Thank you. So, thank you for knowing the banks, how it works, especially in the intermediation, like we collect money and give us. But there is incentive within it, and we work with the partners, also innovative to make sure we do that. So, direct to ensure to increase what you started, and that's why that partner say we need to sit together to work together. On retrofitting, CLB Bank through our green bond, so we have incentive. Whatever you see, it is how far, but we have at least 4% incentivized and subsidized for those who take initiative for the electrofitting of their buildings. And please, whatever the level of the green buildings and energy efficiency and electrofitting, so we welcome that. So we are trying, and we are taking lead to show the way how we can take it. It was not normal, so thank you for seeing that, and you're welcome. Now we come to Madam Beatrice. So just for saving time, so how the women and how they can access funds, especially due to the challenges in Tanzania for the collateral and the like. Yeah. Let me come to the GCF specifically asked. So the program of Tanzania Agriculture Climate Adaptation Program for the RR Agriculture Resilient, it is designed also to look on the inclusion of fund. So as I said, being the woman as target to increase at least 50%, and that is what just common agenda which is going now, and we have to be to look at that because we need to join hand on the global and the partners. So what we do is we have incentive or grant of more than 30%, 10% to finance the guarantee to the women, especially those who are not covered fully for the collateral. But also we are doing the capacity building, which is not normal for commercial bank, like maybe my colleagues for the development bank. So commercial bank, we always come to you and ask their proposal and give you money. So we are doing the capacity building, like how things should work in order to be resilient, especially in this. I remember Mr. Hua opened that there is those seas is mentioned, that there is extremes in the weather, and it's very obvious.
Mr. Kibiki, if you can summarize, we are only left with 5 minutes.
All right.
Yeah.
So, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Now, let me summarize. So the last thing is we have insurance, which is incentivized. So for those who be qualified to access this GCF loan, will be also access the parametric insurance I mentioned earlier. So for these three, we ensure that we make sure we put women on board and make them one of the benefits.
Asante.
Make sure to thank you.
Yeah, that's quite enough. Eliza, unataka kusema kitu?
I think I want to respond to questions on nishati safi ya kupikia. Someone was talking about cultural beliefs.
Alikuwa anaitwa Joseph.
Joseph, yes. Yeah. So kwenye, for example, when you're cooking wali, mtu would like to cook na mkaa because they want ukoko, juu na chini. But I think we have as indicated, we have a national campaign.
Yes.
On the awareness, but also promoting those behavioral change issues. Kwa sababu you can still cook wali kwenye efficient pressure cooker and get you ukoko and be na taste ile nzuri ile. Or ukatumia briquettes, the aroma is there. I think hiyo ni beliefs too. So we have the awareness campaign, but where we'll be doing live demonstrations kuonyesha kwamba hizi beliefs what mkaa can do. Also, of course, labda zile harufu za mkaa sitakuwepo, but ukoko utapata na vitu vingine vingi, but also improve your health, safety and everything. So mwisho wa siku we have also to teach the community kwenye benefits za izo teknolojia, and in some of the programs I've seen, we are not doing that yet, but there are programs where you can attach benefit as incentive to change kwa watumiaji. Lakini pia nataka nimjibu pia Hildegard from Costech in terms of collaboration. Yeah, so at the Cook Fund promotes clean cooking solutions, and in that regard we work with the UNDP. We are both funded by the European Union. They do efficiency and kwa clean cooking technology kutumika muda mrefu ili uweze kuona ile saving na ikawa cheaper than mkaa. It has to be durable and efficient. So that's where we work with the likes of UNDP kwenye their efficiency program. We work with Tanzania Bureau of Standards and TILDO kuensure hata zile improved charcoal stove, for example, that are being funded zina certificate efficiency from either TILDO or TBS or wherever nani competency nani institution ambayo inatoa certificates. Sio mtu ananunua leo improved stove or improved pressure cooker ikawa kesho imeharibika. So we do that, and we have started discussion, for example, with CRDB kwenye mambo ya financing, kwa sababu we support private sectors. Most of them are enterprises ambao some of them are not that bankable. So we were talking, for example, CRDB consider clean cooking kama their package. Fortunately, we also have a component of capacity building where we can strengthen the capacity of our enterprises to make them bankable. So kwa institutions kama CRDB or microfinance institutions.
So Eliza, what you're saying, there are robust programs to support those. Thank you so much for that. Robert, nikupe dakika moja tu ya upendeleo to respond to the policy question. Is there such for the country?
Yes, so in the context of the project, working together with the Minister of Energy, so we are developing, and it's in the final stage to have the energy efficiency strategy in the country, and this is key towards the sustainable practice in terms of energy management. Also, we are now revising the action plan, which we have done some trials and we are currently implementing.
The energy efficiency action plan for the country.
Yes, so together, which is attached to the strategy. So we are in the good direction in terms of having energy efficiency practice in the countries with the backup of the frameworks, the regulatory environment, and also prayers to provide defense services.
Okay, so the strategy will also address issues of CNG and the fact that the use of natural gas is cheaper than diesel and etc., because the strategy will address all those, because that was one of the issues that was raised by one of the participants.
Definitely yes, because that's also addressed two aspects, efficiency as well as clean energy.
Sawa kabisa. Now you will notice that the country has in the country mpaka sasa hivi kuna bajaji zinakuja zinazotumia gas. Mimi jana almost nilipanda bajaji ambayo inatumia gas, ila ilipita, lakini they are there already. Vehicles sasa hivi ziko zinazotumia gas, alafu hata magari ya umeme tayari nchini yameshaanza kuingia. Na sisi kama mradi Energy Efficiency Project tunayo gari ya umeme ya 100% umeme, iko imepaki pale nje, nafikiri jana mtakuwa mliiona. Mimi nimewahi kuipanda, nimeendesha kutoka Dodoma mpaka Morogoro na kurudi. Kwa hiyo they are very efficient, very fast, very comfortable, AC unawasha na kila kitu kiko vizuri. Mr. Kibiki, with that, I think mimi nimefikia mwisho. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and over to you now.
Before you clap your hands, you call me Mr. Kidiki. Is that being energy efficient or is saving his energy? So please, if I may request the panelists to please stand up for a group picture. And let's give a big round of applause to our very able moderator, Mhandisi Malogo. Nime revenge. No, but please come together for a group picture. Let's put our hands again to them. Thank you so much. We cannot, if you think of innovation, if you think of changes, if you think of energy efficiency, if you think of, the space that the world creates or the opportunities that are created, we can't really sum them up in a span of an hour and a half of discussion. So for those of us who did not get the opportunity to ask questions, let's continue to engage with our panelists. But as they take, kabla sijamkaribisha Robert kufunga, you can please take your seats now. Before I invite Mhandisi Robert to sum up and close, labda mkurugenzi kama unataka kusema neno lolote. Do you have any word to say? Una Professor, tunashukuru sana. So immediately after this session, we have a session on digital skills for human capital development. Digital skills for human capital development. And this session will bring together Ministry of Education, UNICEF, and yet again UNCDF. And they're going to look onto the essential digital skills that are transforming careers today. Essential digital skills that are transforming careers today. So if you want to look onto exciting opportunities today and into the future, to as far as the digital skills are concerned, you want to stay back. Itafanyika hapa tukitoka tu for a few minutes. When they do the setup, then this session will start at exactly 11:30. Kwa hiyo, please stay back, so at least we continue to speed date with the future to as far as the digital skills for human capital development are concerned. Without further ado, nipende kuwashukuru wote sana kwa ushiriki wenu, na namkaribisha sasa Mhandisi Robert Oshija, Energy Efficiency Analyst, UNDP, kuja kutufungia mdahalo wetu. As he comes, what do we do? We clap for him. Naomba tumpigie makofi.
Thank you very much. And I really appreciate time given by our good panelists, expertise in the field, and your time also to be here to join us as we discuss this very crucial topic. And you see, even time was not enough, so this is an interesting topic, and we need to build on that. So UNDP, together with other partners, EU and the Ministry of Energy, we are keen to work with various stakeholders and partners in this initiative. So we welcome you together, and we can discuss some of the intervention which we can partner together and work it out for the best of our country in making sure that we have sustainable energy management practice in the country, building on energy efficiency and addressing some of the challenges. As you know, energy is a cost-cutting issue, so everyone is affected. When we have inefficiency, so it is on our side, and we need to address that one. So again, thank you very much, and I wish you and you have a good day. Thank you.
So the next session starts at 11:30. Feel free to stretch, grab a cup of coffee and tea outside, and then come back at 11:30. Thank you so much, and let's make Innovation Week a great success. Tunashukuru sana.